Welcome to the Breaking 90 podcast, where we talk about all things sustainable fat loss. We take people on 90-day journeys to creating fat loss forever. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoy the episode.
Hello and welcome back to the Breaking 90 podcast. Today, I am your host, Kelly Sarlo, and I am here with a very special guest. One of our incredible clients, Andrea, is joining me today. Hi, Andrea.
Hi, Kelly.
I'm so excited to chat with you. You've had one of the most incredible journeys that we've seen for a number of reasons. And you've been so kind to say yes to speaking about your journey. So do you mind if I dive in right away?
Absolutely.
Okay. And for anyone who's watching on YouTube, just so you know, Andrea is not in witness protection. We have a fuzzy camera and we're working with it.
Thank you.
Awesome. No problem. So, first, I'd like to start just by asking you, what were the struggles that you felt you were dealing with or avoiding before you started with Breaking 90?
Well, that's definitely a good question. I would say my biggest struggle would have been motivation. So this time last year, about a year ago, I broke my toe and we're leading into the winter, and I'm just not a fan of the cold and getting outside. I really do enjoy the outdoors, but having broken the toe and winter coming on, I just got in a slump. I just wasn't ready to, I wasn't walking to work. I just felt that was just having a little struggle with motivation overall. Would have been my biggest challenge about a year ago.
Yeah. So were you active before that?
Absolutely. Like I would say I'm pretty active type of personality. I love being outdoors. I work in forestry, so we're outdoors all the time. And I just love yoga, biking, hiking. Definitely an overall active person in general, as a whole, for sure.
Cool. And had you experienced a dip in motivation like that in your past?
I would say not to that extreme, I don't think. Like I've always had I'm a determined type of personality, so I've always been able to just keep going or doing something. But I felt like at that point with that injury, I kind of just shut down. I kind of completely stopped focusing on on movement and on my health. So I think that was probably the biggest point in my life where I kind of just stopped. And I'm a type of person that is a go, go, go kind of person. So I think that was the biggest struggle, was having that injury and not seeking help to figure out how I could keep moving. I just stopped.
That's a cool observation. So you noticed that
Yeah.
you weren't actually reaching out or seeking for help.
No, not at all.
Interesting.
So
Okay, that's actually leading right into my next question. So I love it. So then how did Breaking 90 even come on your radar? Let's go there.
Yeah. A couple of friends at work, coworkers, I had seen a podcast or a video with Jerica, with one of the girls, and just really inspired me, seeing how the coaches work with their clients. I was just really inspired by a couple of the stories from the girls at work, and knowing they were kind of in a similar situation. We're active type people, and they've really inspired me, these two clients of yours in the past. So I think that's really what got me motivated to give it a go, to give it a try.
Very cool. So, okay, now you're heading into the program. What were your initial goals as a starting point?
I would say definitely to move more, thinking about longevity. I want to live to be 100. And I know, you just can't stop at age 48 and say, I'm not going to move for the rest of my life. So I just wanted to be able to have a healthy, active lifestyle, knowing that I can, maintain this for the rest of my life. Just thinking bigger picture, knowing that I don't want to be, sedentary, and I want to be able to move and move my joints and be able to be flexible at an older age.
I love that and please, I don't ever want to put words in your mouth.
Yeah.
You're talking about having come to a point where you felt yourself fully stop, but then eventually was actually able to get to the point of, okay, I'm here now, but what's the big picture?
Absolutely.
Love that. Okay.
Absolutely.
So, all right, tell me what you've accomplished since then.
I would say Some of the biggest accomplishments for this program, and I think I've been on the journey since April with you guys, Kelly
Yeah.
and Alex and Jerica and Mo. I would say overall, like my clothes are fitting better. I just feel, just with some simple movements daily. It doesn't have to be a big routine, but just movement, small steps daily. I'm feeling more comfortable and confident in my clothes. I've definitely feeling my skin feels brighter and not as kind of, I used to have some issues with my skin, so I just feel like I'm glowing. You just can't tell today from the video. um, but yeah, and overall just feeling lighter and not as like bloated and inflamed. I felt like my joints, just I just knew there was something wrong and I had to make a change. So I would say overall, I'm just feeling less pain, less inflammation, and reactions in my skin by eating, healthier and then just moving that body and then not feeling as stiff and sore overall.
This is really cool. So if you don't mind, because I love digging and asking
For sure.
questions. um, Initially, when you were saying like the biggest obstacle was a broken toe, you didn't mention any of this discomfort in your own body. So was that something that you were just living with?
Good question. I would say inflammation for sure. Like, just certain points in your life when there's, elevated stress and stuff, I can tell. And so can my partner, elevation, if increase in stress will create an inflammation in my neck and stuff. So I've had this kind of an ongoing issue. So I would say, yeah, trying to deal with that. Maybe I just hadn't dealt with it up until this breaking point
Mm-hmm.
by breaking the toe. But yeah, I would definitely have had inflammation in the past, kind of cycles up and down. But knowing now how to make wise choices and decisions and trying to keep that at bay or controlled. It's
Mm-hmm.
definitely something that I'm learning through this program. Absolutely.
Cool. And I want to check in. Did I cut you off about things that you've accomplished? I know you had a list.
Um, yeah, no, I would say, no, great question, Kelly. I'd say, more energy overall.
Mm.
I'm feeling inspired. Like you guys are just always available, answering all kinds of questions after hours, with the different time zones and stuff. So I just feel like I have more, the motivation's definitely back, the energy's back, and just knowing that you don't have to, squeeze in a 30-minute workout every single day, just getting something on, just doing small little baby steps, getting out there is better. Doing something is better than nothing. So I'm just, your guiding principles have really inspired me and it makes sense to me and it's just really inspiring me. So I would just say, yeah, motivation is definitely up there. My drive, my determination's back. I just feel like I'm back to myself.
Cool.
I
So,
feel
okay.
like returning to myself.
Oof, okay, I can't rush that then because that's like probably one of that's an achievement that we don't advertise. But that's profound. For someone to say, I feel like myself in a world that we are currently living in,
Mm-hmm.
is huge. So I also just want to take time to say congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, because
For
we,
sure.
we certainly celebrate certain metrics when we're looking at a weight loss program. One being the clothing that you were talking about, right? Where you're feeling better in your clothes, you're feeling better in your skin. Like that's fantastic. But to feel more like yourself in your own skin is something entirely different.
Definitely. And like noticing it for myself, Kelly, but also others noticing. I kind
Yeah.
of was just reflecting before the call, I'm getting lots of compliments. Not that you need that external, forces, but when people notice, it's just, to me, it's wow. So I'm making this change for myself, but it's also being reflected. Other people can see that I'm taking care of myself. And, I'm sure I'll inspire others.
Yeah, I actually, we try and stay away from all of the vanity stuff
Mm-hmm.
as much as we can. However, I do love that you're bringing up this point because it's not necessarily external validation. More so, and this is going to get like really, really fluffy here, but bear with me. I think other people recognize light and feel inspired by it, right? And so when you're digging deep and you're doing this work and transformation on yourself, and you, Andrea, can say, I'm showing up in the world as more of myself, that turns heads, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we can't always describe it. Not all of us are going to know to say, hey, you look like you've lost inches off your waistline. They're actually looking at you saying, like, whoa, that energy that just walked in the room, that's a presence that caught my attention. right? And people see that light and want more of it for themselves too.
Absolutely. No, Kelly, you've just hit the nail on the hammer.
Ah,
I feel like, yeah, I just feel lighter and I feel, just like you said, I'm just feeling myself. And I feel I'm walking into this world just, yeah, not stuck in a slump anymore, and it doesn't have to be humongous big steps. It's just, taking it slow. I think that's what I love about this program the most. You're not, it's not, I didn't feel overwhelmed, not one day of this journey yet.
wow, that's huge too. Okay, I want to go backwards because you briefly brought up your work. And I really want to highlight for people who are listening to this, like Andrea did not walk into our program stress-free. She does not lead a stress-free life. Are you able to talk a little bit more about the daily ongoings and demands of your job? You don't even necessarily have to say what you do, but like you are a busy woman to say the very least, yes?
Kelly, you're absolutely right. Like when I joined this program in April, I have definitely a busy lifestyle, and with work, there's a lot of assignments being thrown at us, but especially this particular summer, a lot of us were kind of roped into the wildfire duties and roles here in Alberta just because we had a crazy wildfire season. So that is not a part of my daily workload, but we were asked to support various projects. And actually, we still are, even though it's September 15th. We're still asked to support Northwest Territories and other jurisdictions or other forest areas. So even last week, they were asking me if I would run up to or drive up and fly up to Fort Smith. So I just feel like that, yeah, added pressures this year with my own workload as well as, supporting other departments. And it's just been, yeah, been a crazy summer, and it's a lot of people have been involved. A lot of people have put their hands up. So yeah, it was just a little bit of a definitely overwhelmed. And I was able to, support wildfire, do my own role, and then still be able to focus on myself and my health and fitness journey. So I was able to still be able to manage everything.
So, like, does your cape come in every color?
Well, it definitely felt like I was wearing many capes this summer for sure, like probably 3 different roles. But yeah, I think if I wasn't registered for this program this past summer, I don't know. I think it would have probably been a whole different story. So I was able to just focus on, you know, getting some movement and some healthy choices, better choices, and lots of water. And if I didn't, kind of have this knowledge, I think I would have been, going for all the sugary treats. It would have created some more inflammation. I'm sure it would have created more, elevated stress in the body and in my mind. I just don't know if I would have been able to cope if I didn't have these, um, you know, guiding principles and solid foundations moving into such a crazy summer. So I'm really, really thankful for having these tools.
Yeah, I think what you're saying is gold. Like so many people that we see even just show interest in something like this, it's like, well, things are really crazy right now. Now's not the time. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
no, actually the crazy time is the exact time that you need it for the exact reasons you just said.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. Like I think this, yeah, could have been, more of a downhill spiral. I just feel like, yeah, knowing that, yeah, I might not be able to do the scheduled 20-minute workout that Jerica has assigned to me today, but knowing that I still can walk around the block and I actually, kind of tracking my steps. I know that not everyone does, but I just kind of thought, okay, I'm still getting movement. It might not be 20 minutes in a row, but by the end of the day, I can say, I've made healthier choices and I've moved my body, and and in my mind, I'm feeling better overall.
Brilliant. And that's all any of us are really needing to do to maintain that health, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. I'm thrilled to hear that. So, okay, I know this is a very general question, and I recognize I'm putting you on the spot too by asking. I want to know like what you've learned or what your biggest takeaway has been.
I would say I really, really love, and I have some of post-it notes posted on the fridge and stuff.
I
I
love
really love the guiding principles of breaking 90. And there was recently a video where Kelly and Alex discussed the guidelines, but the the guiding principles, I just love having those to fall back on. Knowing, when I'm making a decision. I'm at my friend's wedding this past summer in Calgary, and I just love desserts. I've always loved desserts, and I probably will continue to love desserts.
Hope so.
I love sugar, right? But knowing that, I don't need to have the buffet of desserts. I still can enjoy a beautiful dessert with my friend and with family, and I'm still going to enjoy the things that we love in life, but I don't need to just treat it like a buffet of desserts like I would have in the past, and then felt so sick afterwards, knowing, but no, I know that it's not good, but then I continue to do it. So I don't know. I just love knowing that I still can have fun, but knowing that, yeah, I can still pick, but not just go totally overboard like I had in the past.
That's awesome.
So,
Love
yeah, I
it.
like the guidelines, and especially I kind of mentioned it a few times throughout the call, the something over nothing. You might not have time, for a 30-minute run or workout or whatever, but just getting a little walk in or a few stretches. I think everyone can find a little time, just for the small things, and it all adds up over time.
Well, you might have already answered this, but I'm going to ask it anyway because you keep coming out with more tidbits of excellence. If there's one thing that you could tell someone who's just starting out their health and fitness journey, what piece of information would you want them to have?
I would say, yeah, definitely start small, baby steps, knowing, yeah, that, you can't run a marathon in a day, or regardless of whatever program you may be aspiring to do, just taking day by day, small steps, starting small, and knowing that, yeah, over time, there will be, you'll see major changes. You just have to be able to be consistent, which I feel like I've been, daily, knowing, that, yeah, it just takes small steps and determination. Motivation will go up and down. Everyone has that, up and down motivation. But I think if you can just stick to the small steps, it's just so important. And I feel like that has been helping me. This also helps with like eliminating overwhelm, because I know in this world, and especially this summer, everyone's been through a lot. So overwhelmed, you can easily get overwhelmed, but just focused on manageable tiny steps. I think that's my biggest takeaway, and taking things slow, like any new program. A doctor will tell you that you can't just go for 5K tomorrow if you haven't run in years. Or in my situation, I hadn't run in a year, so now I'm back to starting slow, a small run walk program, and just feeling so motivated to keep that going, knowing that I can be back to where I was a year ago, but I can't do it overnight.
Beautiful. We normally end the podcast with a tip, but I feel like you just gave us at least 5. So that was fantastic. And in the interest of you saying like start small, we'll leave them with just those.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say thank you. One, for being such an incredible client. And I know this isn't the end of our journey together. You're still in our legacy program and working hard at different goals now. But I just want to say thank you, because you're an exact shining example of that, what you can get based on what you invest, right? And you walked in enthusiastic, you walked in wanting to participate and really be collaborative with all the coaches. And what I've loved about you too is how much you have so willingly soaked up every different piece of knowledge that the other experts are willing to offer, right?
Mm-hmm.
You showed up for absolutely everything. And I think that's the key to success, is that curiosity and that enthusiasm.
Thank you, Kelly. No,
Yes.
but you guys have been so warm and welcoming. And I want to thank you all, yourself and Jerica and Alex and Mo, for being there and for checking in. The accountability is just really important. I think it's important for a lot of people, but yeah, you guys have been so supportive. So thank you all to the team at Breaking
Well,
90.
and it's our pleasure. So thank you also for doing this podcast. I know that there will be people listening like yourself, over a year ago, who are just waiting for that little nudge or that proof that it really does work in busy times. So thank you for doing this.
You're welcome, Kelly. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so thank you to everyone who tuned in to listen today. If you can and are willing, we'd love for you to subscribe and also to like the podcast and share it with someone that you think would benefit from this as well. If you're interested in joining the program, you can reach out to any one of us. We'd be happy to have that conversation. Have a beautiful day. We'll be back next Tuesday.